Get inside, boys. Run. Get inside from the cold. The frost will get in. Close the door. What brings you this far out onto the glacier? What's that? Gather by the fire. The dead march. So, Limdul has begun his assault. If you smell a whiff of rot on the breeze, boys, run. For what the dead kill, they claim. You think this winter will end? No. This is the Ice Age.
Ooh. Once again, fantastic. Also,
I like bears.
son,
Generic
I like
Scandinavian
bears.
voice.
Once again, we're back with
He
a
does
lore
sound like
episode.
one of my favorite footballers.
Yeah, who's your favorite? Wait, who's your favorite footballer?
Oh, my actual favorite footballer is a Korean guy called Son. But
Okay, gotcha.
there's a guy from coming out of Sweden that does sound exactly like that.
Yes. The
Every time he talks, he's speaking like proper English, and they put subtitles on.
As an Aberdonian, I've seen many people speak with my native accent in English and still get subtitled as well. So
My favorite part is when they have Scots speaking to Scots from different parts of Scotland, and they require the subtitles. I was like, that's amazing.
That's a joke in the Pixar movie Brave, right?
Oh,
Is there's one particular prince who's Aberdonian and he speaks Doric, which is like a subsect of Scots, and no one like the subtitles literally say speaks in Scottish gibberish.
amazing.
And I'm sitting here being like, I understand exactly what that guy
Let's
says.
go with it.
He sounds like my uncle.
but what a banger restart to. We've taken a bit of a quick hiatus over the New Year's, Christmas period for the podcast. Naturally, as we go into Christmas, New Year's, everyone gets a little busy. We have plenty of family things going on, plenty of things happening at Northern Boards as well. But we're back on. First week of the 2026. We got Matt back on for a lore episode. We've been hyping this one up for a while.
It's true, yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff has been like leading into this one.
Correct.
I do like the irony of doing the Ice Age in the 40 degrees.
Yeah,
I
in the hottest part of the year.
Our balls off,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
So we're finally here. I felt like we had the sylex explosion, and now Dominaria has been plunged into darkness and a bit of cold, and we're finally here in the Ice Age to progress to the next period of the storyline. I love that intro of yours as well, and you briefly mentioned Limdol.
Yes,
I believe is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing this in episodes to come, but I'm gonna shout out a couple of names that some people might recognize from just Magic in general. And I'm gonna say like those are in this episode, right? So we've got Limdol the Necromancer, we've got Jaya Ballard, we've got the countries of Keldoran and Balduvia, we've got Leshrac in here as well, and. The Lord of Tressorhorn. I don't know if anyone's ever played with the Lord of Tressorhorn. That's going to be a fun one.
There's a few oldies sticking around, I think.
Whilst this is taking place on Dominaria, this is one of the first sets that actually references different planes in the story. So we're also going to be talking about Taysir of Rabia and Chandalar.
Yeah, very keen. I feel like a lot of story points are finally here. You mentioned the names just then as well, and significant. And there are many characters that like still have ties back to Ice Age, right? Like Jaya Ballard, who's first introduced in Ice Age, we still see her throughout many points of storylines. She has significance in Chandra's storyline, for example.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, really looking forward to it. Matt, lead us away. Let's hear it.
Okay, so a little bit of background that you provided is pretty adequate for what we need. The world exploded, right? Urza and Mishra had the biggest sibling rivalry of all time, and it erupted with the Sylex blast. The ash and the whatever went into the atmosphere. It's made the places dark. Then we got the Dark Age. Now the ice has fully encroached. Right, there is an ever blanketing just oppressive snow. There is a winter that will never end on the continent of Terracier and for the large majority of Dominaria. It's done huge things like open up rifts in the ocean where the lobster people fucked off through. It's done things like make islands not islands anymore.
You reckon if the lobster people stuck around for the Ice Age, they would just lobsters like partially water, right? Would they just freeze?
Do you reckon
lobsters
lobsters
more water
hibernate?
than ice?
Well, they just go, but the water still stays liquid under the ice.
Well, you know when turtles
Yes.
get caught in the frozen, they just freeze there, and then in the summer they just unfreeze out again. Is that where the maybe
Do they
that's
do
where
that?
the lobsters
Do they
are.
do
the
that?
whole-
That might be why they escaped through the volcanic vent. Right? It's like, oh, that's the hot water. They're going to go through the hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of sea creatures and water creatures like turtles and fish and shit, when it freezes over, they just exist frozen, and then in the summer they thaw out and they just continue as if they were. Like nothing changes.
Why can't we do that for like when it gets really hot here in Australia in summer.
We
Chuck me in a fridge and wake me up when it's autumn.
I thought you meant like the opposite, like you dehydrate out and then you rehydrate in the summer, like a sultana or something.
Oh my god, yeah.
Also, even
That'd be so good. Just like dry me out, roll me up, put me in a chest somewhere.
I don't know if you know, but you can do that with fish as well. Some fish you can dehydrate and then rehydrate.
There's a specific fish. I'll pull it up in the images as well, where it can basically exist out of water and go effectively dead. And the immediate moment it goes back to having water on it, it rehydrates and it's alive again.
What's the thing the internet uses to like determine what's in it? It's like like key points or whatever, and it'll send it out. Like it doesn't matter. But I like there's all the magic cards and there's just the one fish.
What is that? Can I just explain to look?
Rewind.
Okay.
No, you know they're like
give us descriptions. Click notes.
It's like a word that's used.
Yes.
So when you're searching up something on the internet, it has like
key points.
Keywords.
like
tags.
Metadata.
maybe that something like that. There's a term. I'll think of it.
Anyway, continue.
I'll think of it. I'm going to make you edit it in later, so it sounds like I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, of course, Danny. You're talking about
blank.
Yeah. So now we are in effectively a brand new era of Dominaria. It looked one way before. Now it is Ice Apocalypse World.
Even in the images, so like when the Ice Apocalypse, right? Even in the way they marketed it and they sold the set, well, we had previous sets, booster boxes were browns and purples, for example, for dark and stuff. When the Ice Age boxes came out, they were that chill blue color.
Yeah.
All the posters and marketing were really emphasizing this is the Ice Age. It's the cold.
Is it like a Ice Apocalypse, or it's just like you need to go get your Anaconda jacket? Like, what are we?
Oh no, we're talking like freezing, frigid colds to the point that people don't really go outside unless they're in like huge, warm gear.
Sure.
Right. We're like all of a sudden not all of a sudden. It took like 400 years, but the continent of Tertiaire is just the Arctic, right? All over. And that has mostly resulted in society kind of accumulating into different societies, right? Like the Dark Ages was all just people scattered everywhere, right? And before that, there were civilizations that were helmed by Urza and helmed by Mishra and all this kind of stuff. And now they're brand new civilizations. We have the country of Keldor. For anyone who has like read Magic cards before, read names, you might think that these are associated with Keldons. Keldons and Kjeldons are different things.
Spelled differently or the same?
They're spelled differently. There's just a J where you don't expect it to be.
Right.
Because this set is largely inspired by Scandinavian themes. It is very Norse inspired. Our characters have Norse names, right?
Do they have like a cool pen pal, like a Sister City thing with Mordor?
I don't have a joke for that. I don't have a yes and for that.
Hold on, I need you to run me through that one again. Mordor
and Kildor.
Okay. I get it now.
Hold on, where's the laugh track button? Where's the laugh track button?
See, I've got fans. I do notice when we get compliments, it's always about how good Kang and Matt's voice is, not about how good my jokes are.
No,
They've got their own appeal.
You're here for the
They've
flavor.
got their own appeal.
You're here for the flavor.
Yeah. I mean, you're organizing and paying for all this shit, so that's why you get to be here.
Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but like generally speaking, the person who laughs more really like adds the energy of the room, right? And because you're the only one like laughing and most, because I don't really laugh a lot. I'm not a very emotive person, so having your laugh in the track,
I've broken Kang over the past 5 years.
Really uplifts the mood of the podcast.
I love when people tell me stuff about me. It's great.
You are the Rich Evans of this podcast, the one with like the notable giggle that happens all the time.
Beauty, let's go.
So yes, we are now in Ice Apocalypse World and the country of Keldor. Which, for kind of a comparison, it is a Scandinavian castle kingdom, right? There are big castles, there are fiefdoms with knights and things like that, and it's largely led by a dynasty of kings, all called Darien. They're all called Darien. They're going to be called Darien for a long ass time after this as well. Right. The country of Keldor.
It's almost a title, then, right?
Yeah, kind of. But we're talking like. Yes, this is the new king of Keldor. Later, it becomes something different.
Right.
Darien the 13th, right? Like we're thinking about like English monarchy here, other kinds of European monarchy where you're just like Henry the Third, Henry the Fourth, Henry the Fifth.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe they change their name when they get crowned, like English monarchs do. Like Queen Elizabeth was not called Elizabeth. Or, let me retract that. Her dad was not called Edward. He changed his name. She was going to be something different. Anyway,
I don't know that.
Immediately getting off track. The monarchy is a complicated thing. So the country of Keldor is the white aligned faction for this set, right? It's going to be the general sort of centralized power of the region. It's where you've got the big Norse guys with armor and swords. They have horses that can trek through the ice. And they've got a number of notable characters in them. Some funny ones as well, for sure. There's a bunch of generals that are notable in Keldor. One of them you might recognize the name of, which is Varchild.
Oh, yeah.
Varchild is from here. Yeah. So for anyone who's played with either Varchild or my favorite card on the reserve list, Varchild's...
It's the one that makes the soldiers, right? It gives the rebels the opponents.
It's so much his favorite he can remember.
It just deleted itself from my brain. I felt it progress to the top of my tongue
earlier. Oh, it's SEO. That's what
we got there. We're right back around.
All right, there you go.
Varchild's War Riders. Varchild's War Riders. It was progressing like to the tip of my tongue and then just fucked off. I didn't even reach it. So, there's also going to be a general in this guy called the White Fox. So he's got another name. It's the card he gets. This is one of the first sets since Legends that has actual legendary creatures.
Beautiful.
Right? The legendary creature type was... because it was a creature type, Southern Legend, was invented in Legends, but it didn't show up into the Dark, right? It didn't show up in Fallen Empires, which I didn't cover in the review because Fallen Empires has nothing to do with anything. So there are actual legends in this set. For some odd reason, a lot of the important characters that I'm going to talk about, Freyalise, Lavissa Cold Eyes, Darien... even like Jaya Ballard and Joda, they don't get cards in this set, but a whole bunch of side characters do, like
nice, love that.
Kesa and the Lord of Tressorhorn.
So it's like downloading Skyrim, but you've just downloaded an expansion and like a side bot.
You skip the main story straight to the DLC.
Yeah, and you're like, oh wow, I really love this one side character, and you're like, well, the side character is only important because of all the... No, okay, never mind.
Nope. Don't care.
Yeah. So separate from the country of Keldor, is off in the mountains. We have our Viking equivalent barbarian horde. That is the country of Balduvia. And Keldor and Balduvia are basically constantly at each other's throats. Keldor is trying to establish order. They're the white aligned faction. Balduvia is just trying to do their own thing. They're the red aligned faction, right? It's the conflict between white and red. It's you need to do what is right, and red says, fuck you, I want to do what I want, right? So those two countries are going to be, they're both good guys, and they both will be on the side of good in this exchange. They're going to be the main central powers, and they need a bad guy. That bad guy comes from within the ranks of Keldor, and his name is Limdul. Now, Limdul is a big flavor text character. He is in names, he's in flavor text and background stories for the large majority of Magic. He's not really on cards. He gets one card, but only later in Time Spiral. He is the main villain of this set and just does not get featured.
Right. I wonder if that was a play to make him more of like a storyline, like mysterious character. Like you only ever hear of him with tales because he's such a big villain that like the average person isn't going to go out and see this guy.
Yeah, it's definitely fair. And also he is
he does get a lot of cards referencing him though.
Yeah, his role in the story is largely that of a necromancer. He is a summoner, right? So I guess, yeah, he's not particularly strong or powerful on his own, but he summons forces. So I guess at this time in Magic, you could almost pretend to be Lim-Dul, right? You could have Lim-Dul's forces.
Because in my mind, it was a bit like when they first introduced Phyrexia, and you had all these references to Yawgmoth and the influence of Yawgmoth.
Yeah,
and
and
you never
Gix.
really got to see... Yeah, exactly. You never really got to see Yawgmoth. And then through the flavor text, the players were able to create an image of the villain. And from there, it was like this almost... spiritual-like character, and it's way more enticing to me. At least it feels.
Yeah, for sure. You could. I guess you could theme your decks around these various characters, that kind of thing. So, Lim-Dul is in the Kildoran army. How this guy gets into the army, I have no goddamn clue. He is scrawny. He is not strong. He is magically inclined. He barely knows how to swing a sword. But he finds himself in the company of another Kildoran general, a guy called Marton Stromgald. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I don't think he's going to come back and tell you off, so...
Yeah, it's... Ken comes in for the future, and it's like, Marton.
Yeah.
So he is... he gets a legend in this set. He's the mono-red legend. He's actually kind of a fun one. If anybody ever wanted to go back and, like, build some of the decks from here, I think a lot of the legends are interesting. They're not good. They're interesting. Marton is one of those, where he's a 1/1 for 4. And he pumps your team enormously when you're attacking and defending, but he himself never gets any bigger. So he is going to be part of a fairly large campaign, and he's going to die. He's going to die against some goblins. And
Goblins are like the level 1 enemies.
Yep.
He goes into World of Warcraft and dies to the first.
Dies on quest 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to collect 3 snouts. He's like, I failed that.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. So in the year 2910 AR, which I do know what AR means thanks to a comment on Spotify
there was a comment.
of one of these. Yeah, it's Argavian Reckoning. It was the birth of Urza and Mishra.
Oh.
That's what AR0 is in reference to.
And the Argavia.
Do we remember who said it?
I will pull it up.
Yes, it was. Oh, I'm trying to think of the name. But I saw the comment. I saw it a couple of days ago.
We have listeners.
We have listeners. We have a listener that left a comment.
Yeah,
have at least
you
one
know when you
listener.
have your Spotify wrapped, we have a Spotify wrapped for our podcast.
Yeah.
And it tells us the locations roughly of where around the world our listeners are. And there was a minor blimp in Poland.
Oh, lovely. Oh, yes, see? It's coming true. Now, do you guys use Spotify for your podcasts?
I do. And I want to shout out Curtis Ferranti.
Curtis Front. Cheers, Kurt. Appreciate that, brother. Was in your Wrapped, was this podcast in your top listens?
Yeah.
It was my highest rated podcast, but it didn't touch the edges when it came to any other category.
Because I listen to ours sometimes multiple times, trying to like learn, or I don't know what we're doing here. But mine was in my top 5.
Yeah, same. Your own production in your top 5 is a case of, Am I narcissistic here?
It's quality assurance.
Yeah.
It's quality assurance. You're listening back to it
correct.
to be like, yeah, no, this is funny. We were just talking before the show about how like Danny and I laugh at our own jokes when we listen back. So it's a good time. So
Yeah, it's a sign of sense of humor. You got to have a good sense of humor. You got to be able to laugh at your own jokes.
yes, it's self-confidence.
Exactly.
It's self-esteem.
If you don't think your own jokes are going to land, why tell jokes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Lim-Dul is going to be the only survivor of that little massacre by goblins, right? Marton Stromgald, he's a pretty cool general, and he's going to get himself killed, and everyone else around him. And Lim-Dul somehow survives, and he uses his magic to reanimate Marton Stromgald, and basically start a special forces unit inside the Kildoran army called the Order of Stromgald, where he's like, oh yeah, no, we follow Marton. Marton's fine. Don't worry about him. He just smells now.
Is it like that? Is it the comedy like action movie where they don't realize everyone else around him doesn't realize he's a zombie?
Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah, it's a Weekend at Bernie's army situation. It's weird.
His whole army is not undead.
Half the battles they win just because they stink hell bad and the guys leave.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have this previously really well-respected alive general who is now still well-respected but dead.
Yeah.
And Limdul is actually the one pulling the strings, right? He is actually pulling the strings.
Wages, you know what I mean? Like,
He's
I don't have to pay him.
This is a significant amount of necromancy for some guy who only just figured it out.
I think he's been sort of like channeling it in the background. Limdul has been like, I don't know, hiding away in little cupboards, being like
Reading secret books about necromancy.
Right? Yeah. That's probably why he's like, I don't know, so scrawny and can't swing a sword, is because instead of doing drills with the rest of the army, he was reading dark
To be
tomes.
fair, though, necromancy is one of the cooler laws of magic.
I have reading makes you weaker, so.
Yes.
It's true.
But necromancy, right? So if you could learn any magic, let's say lore, such as the Warhammer laws, right? Necromancy's got to be up there. It's one of the cool. If you can learn how to cast fireball and such, or
Nah, I'm not really good with like icky things, so I think I'd just be sick all the time. I'd be dry heaving.
True. Also, the smell. I realized.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, just reanimate the skeletons.
There's
They
someone
don't
here who
smell.
comes to the club that doesn't have a smell. Is it Brandon?
Some people don't have sense of smell.
I think it's Brandon.
I don't
Matt
have
has
a
a
sense of
problem
smell
with
at all. Yeah, thanks for
Oh, it was
remembering.
you.
I have no sense of smell.
I think Brandon.
not a damn thing.
I think Brandon also
Brandon
doesn't.
has no sense of smell.
We should have a game between Matt and Brandon and put the more stinkiest stuff in front of them until one of them
We're
finally
the only
eyes
victims.
water.
We're the only victims there.
We can stand away. We can stand far away. we can do it from a distance.
You guys have like masks and PPE.
yeah.
What's that one Scandinavian dish with the in a can?
Surströmming.
Surströmming, yeah. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I think it's an early podcast.
We might have mentioned
preview
before.
is the canfish.
If we ordered in Surströmming, could we pull it off? Could we eat it? Like, do you reckon?
no.
Yeah.
I would go for them. It goes for cheese. Like Stinking Bishop is a notorious blue cheese.
Okay. Stinking Bishop is.
I'm not a fish or cheese enough guy to then go to the worst version of those things.
I haven't had surströmming, but I have had pickled fermented fish.
How'd that go?
It's good.
Okay.
And it's tasty. It's just kind of like it, but
Never
everyone
took
else
you for
in the
a
room
lie, man.
hated it.
But you're also someone who can't smell, so maybe that's the trick.
Yeah, no, for sure. The lack of sense of smell really does affect my taste. Like, I can't have sugar in my coffee because if the coffee isn't bitter enough, I can't taste it.
Whoa.
I like spicy food a hell of a lot more than anyone else because it's an actual sensation I can feel.
Powerful.
Hectic.
Yeah, no, it's a hell of a thing. Honestly, as far as like senses are to go disappearing, sense of smell is fine.
Yeah, true.
Necromancy. Choose a spell law.
Fireball.
Fire.
Oh, it's absolutely
Law of
fire.
fire.
Nah, I want the water one from Avatar so I can use the piss thing. I thought that was pretty fun.
Piss bending. Does sound
piss
It's the piss bending. We're back to piss bending.
I know it comes right back. Plus, in this Ice Age, I'd be super helpful.
It's true.
I can like Noah's Ark the ice out of the way.
I mean, the big waterbending civilization in Avatar is they live in the Arctic.
You know, maybe you're right, because in the everyday life, you know what I mean? Like, the piss bending one might be the more useful one. You know, when you're like all cozy in bed and you don't want to get out of bed, but you got to pee.
You just shoot it across
You
the
just
room.
back to the toilet. Good to go. So,
It just curves out of you and then around the door and then down the hallway.
Yeah. And for me, it's a problem because I just have someone's dead grandpa following me around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel the necromancy is always an issue to me because it's like the guy, like you know, like we talk about Skyrim, and you crack into that castle, and then you like fight your way through and get your loot. That must smell fucked. Like the whole place must
Yeah,
smell.
draw gear probably smells.
I don't know if
I don't know
you
what I'm talking about.
We're
I'm just
hearing,
like, oh yeah, it smells bad. Yeah.
although I
play
do,
Skyrim?
a lot of those,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the draw gear.
a lot of
Yeah.
those places are like Nordic places with a lot of snow, so maybe they're better preserved. But here, if you're a necromancer here in Australia, have you ever like driven past like a kangaroo that's been there a day?
No, I get it now.
It's you drive past and it gets in your aircon, and it's an eye-wateringly like horrific smell. So maybe necromancy in the snow. Fine. Necromancy in Australia?
I'm a
fucking
necromancer
rough.
with class. I'm only go for bones.
You're going to go for bones. Just do
all the
skeleton
flesh
bones?
is already off.
Nice.
Nothing rotten
Okay, sure.
anymore.
Yeah.
You would just have an army of kangaroos.
You would have a pretty sizable army.
That
I
would
mean,
be
I
an
know
incredible
this from
army.
experience from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I helped a guy move a roo off the road in Two Rocks, and like it had been recently splattered, and he's like hacking and coughing, and I'm like, oh. Just like dragging this roo. I had the tail and the foot end, and he had the face, and he was like, oh.
I like the other guy not knowing who you are as a person, not knowing that you can't smell, and just being like, man, this guy's way too into this.
I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, it was honestly, I felt the most Australian in that moment that I have in a long time, where I'm just like, nah, mate, she'll be right. It's fine. Just lug-a-roo off the side of the road is super Australian.
Yeah. It's clearing the way.
Yeah. And like that was me taking my partner to work in the morning. I'm coming back from the train station, and there's just this.
For any of our international listeners, they must be thinking, "Wow, you guys just have just the roads, kangaroos just jump on the roads all the time." And kind of yes. Kind of.
Yeah, it's yes with an asterisk, right? It's like yes, but only in certain areas. Like I live in Two Rocks. Two Rocks is just bush roads like all around it.
Yeah.
Just like every good Western country, we're exceptionally good at destroying our habitat. So, we make sure they get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
All right, so Limdor comes back with an undead army.
He does.
Weekend at Bernie's where people can't quite tell if it's a live or dead army.
Or can they tell?
No, well... It's hard to say, like, because Martin Stromgold does get like a description of when he's a zombie, right? So let's see. After his reanimation, his bearded face was expressionless, humorless, and dead. His teeth were yellowed and decayed, and he stood stiffly. His eyes showed some signs of life, but they were flickers struggling against the darkness around him. So he just kind of looks like a really checked out guy.
He was just sick, and everyone's like, "We've necromancy back to life," and the guy's like, "I've got scurvy."
That's enough. That's close enough to a live looking that the average person might just be.
Yeah, especially when him and his troop went on some big mission. They come back and all of a sudden Martin just like doesn't talk to anybody. It's just like, oh, it's PTSD. Yeah, that guy's just like super shell shocked.
I also like the poor guy died in the line of duty, and he's like, oh, he's got yellow teeth.
Martin's gross now. Yeah. So while this is happening, and Limdul now has a sort of foothold in the Keldoran military. He has control of the Order of Stromgald, which become like very well-respected special forces. They're just completely under the Necromancer's control because, there's this super checked-out former general in charge of them. We go back to Joda from the Dark Age. Joda is now the head of the School of the Unseen, operating out of the City of Shadows. For anyone who doesn't know what those mean, check out our The Dark episode. And Joda is a descendant of Urza that is now a very powerful mage in his own right. He is recruiting people. He is well known as like the Archmage Joda. And he has spotted a couple of individuals within sort of this Ice Age era that have magical potential, one of which is Jaya Ballard. Now, he picks up Jaya as a young student of his. She shows immediate potential and has an extreme flair for fire magic. She is an absolute brat talking to him, will not respect him or anyone else, and immediately goes, nah, fuck this school shit, and just runs away to become what she calls a task mage, which is basically just like a mercenary, but for magic, right? Like she's just doing odd jobs. Yeah. Most of her spells are fire-based. I'm not entirely sure what those odd jobs are, but that's what she goes to do.
Just an old-timey lamplighter.
Yeah. Although, I mean, if we're talking about an ice apocalypse world, someone who can generate fire does seem pretty useful.
True.
Yeah.
She just sits in the fireplace and just is on fire.
I do like that she went on her own little solo RPG adventure. She decided to go level up by doing random quests around town.
She did the tutorial, and then instead of sticking with the Shadow, the City of Shadows plot line, she just fucked off and did other stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the School of the Unseen at the City of Shadows is very well established, and has moved because of the ice, right? Like they were on a different part of Terrasier. They were on Latinam, and that got fucked up, and it was an island, and now it's no longer an island. And now they're established there. And Joda is their archmage. He's collecting magical artifacts. He's learning lots of new magic. And then he goes missing. Nobody really knows where they are. Jaya, after doing a whole bunch of stuff, meets up with a couple of different people on her journeys, and she's making her way back to the School of the Unseen. Notably, she teams up with this guy and becomes friends with his wife and his daughter, and they fight a Lurgoyf. So Jaya takes down a Goyf, because that is just a thing that is on Dominaria now, is Goyfs.
So they came after Ice Age.
Yeah, they basically evolved during this time
During
period.
the 400 years.
As of Edge Eternities, now they come from the space now.
Yeah,
True,
yeah,
the
I guess so.
Cosmoglyph.
Yeah. So man, that Cosmoglyph really confuses me because I don't know what the fuck that is. But I like to imagine that a Goyf evolves in places where most other things wouldn't evolve, and because what it does is just eat. That's what a Goyf does. So
maybe you can describe it as like a natural phenomenon. As creatures evolve to survive hardship, the apex predator eventually becomes and evolves into a low Goyf.
Yep.
It's like how scientists can't explain why things keep evolving into crabs.
yeah, it's Goyfification.
It's Goyfification.
Yeah. It's not ossification. It's Goyfification.
Yeah, maybe the epitome of the apex predator is just the Goyf, the thing that can continuously all consume and survive.
I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the flavor text,
And
right?
the Cosmoglyph is just, it was so good at eating. It just became a planet. It's 8 planets. It became Galactus.
Yeah, became something that could eat space stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Galactus as a Goyf. That actually kind of makes a lot of sense to me. I would love that. Just like they reprint Galactus as like one of those like a nickname for like a real card that exists, and it's just Tarmogoyf.
Nice.
But that is the flavor text of the Tarmogoyf from, I want to say it's like the original One of Masters, which is like what doesn't die grows the Goyf kind of thing. Like what dies stops and then it grows the Goyf. The Goyf just keeps getting bigger from everything that it eats.
Yeah.
And so she teams up with this guy called Kolbjorn and his wife Disa. And their daughter Kesa. So Disa recently got a card. Kolbjorn has never had a card. Kesa did get a card in this set. She is the mono green legend in this set. Gorgeous art, absolutely fucking incredible art on the card. It's literally just called Kesa. Disa recently got a card in the Modern Masters.
I'm hearing Quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
Matt is on purposely pausing between the names. You're pausing between the names, so it is just Quesa and Dealer, but just not Quesadilla.
Someone's hungry for din-dins.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. Disa, not Kesa Disa. Kesa's mother, Disa, got a card in the Modern Horizons 3 Commander decks. She was the leader of the Lurgoyf deck. Oh, that's her. Disa the Restless. She's from the Ice Age.
Dude,
and
what a flashback every time.
Oh, she's in like snow kind of like furs and stuff like that.
Yep, exactly. So, Disa becomes so good at fighting Lurgoyfs that eventually, I guess, she is able to like control them and herd them.
Yeah, she's like Dune. She becomes the Lisa Nagaib of Lurgoyfs.
The Lurgoyf Alsana.
Lisa Nagaib.
That's better than
Lisa
what I was trying to mumble. Yeah. And so now she's done all that stuff, and she gets an amulet during her travels from Kolbjorn. Did she get it from Kolbjorn? She gets it while she's on an adventure with Kolbjorn. I'll be honest. There's a lot of reading that I had to do for this set. I did a large majority of it weeks ago before Christmas, and I'm like trying to remember my own learning from 3 weeks ago.
You're good, Matt, because the average person that knows any bit of lore from Ice Age has probably read Ice Age from 1995.
Well, as businessmen, we'll just say that you're choosing to get some things wrong, so people will comment that.
Oh, it's all about engagement.
Engagement.
Yeah. I'm
So
just
anything we
rage
fucked up,
baiting
we
the
did
audience.
intentionally. Shut up.
No, don't shut up.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Get mad and write it in the comments.
Right,
Yeah. So she gets an amulet, and the amulet is capable of summoning a character called Freyalise. Freyalise is going to be very big and important to this story, and she is a planeswalker. So at this time in the story, planeswalkers are what we refer to as pre-mending. And what that means is way later in Time Spiral, there's going to be an event that nerfs planeswalkers. Every planeswalker before that, so especially during this Ice Age, is tantamount to a god. They are all powerful. They do not care about having a physical body. They can walk wherever they like. They can cast like world-shattering spells.
But you say this amulet allows her to
summon
summoned,
her.
but so she's like attached to the amulet, and she can't choose to not be summoned, or just has the ability to summon her.
like to imagine
I think it's like an alert. That's like, hey, Freyalise, come help me.
I imagine it as like a genie in the lamp situation.
That's what I was
where maybe
questioning.
she was trapped inside.
Yeah.
No, I think Freyalise is powerful enough and doing enough things that she is just off in the multiverse.
Understood.
It's more like a pager from the 90s, where it's like,
Yes.
hey,
Yes, it is a
please
magical
help.
pager. There's a little on her pocket. Right? So Freyalise is a very, very powerful planeswalker that comes from the Dark Ages. She's born on Dominaria, sparks, and goes off into the rest of the multiverse. She is from the forest of Llanowar, which we can all recognize the name of from like Llanowar elves, right? Really, 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 really big forest. She's an elf, and so she has something that becomes fairly iconic for the Llanowar elves, where she has like the eye patch, right? And she's going to be a pretty big character in this. And now Jaya has her pager, right? She has her number, and she can call her whenever she needs to. So Jaya,
wait a minute.
What's that?
A red mage being friends with a green mage?
Yep.
Chandra and Nissa?
Oh, yeah.
A little mirroring,
kind of.
because Jaya was the mentor for Chandra as well.
A little bit of Gruul coming in.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a human, hot-headed, pun intended, pyromancer making friends with a green forest elf.
Green planeswalker.
I can see that. Someone looking back on the old Ice Age stories was like, what if these characters kiss?
And they manifested it in modern day Magic.
They're like, man, I love Jaya. Make a new Jaya. Her name's Chandra. Man, I love Freyalise. Make a new Freyalise. Call her Nissa. And then make them kiss.
I know some fan art that could come out of this.
Oh,
There's plenty, bro.
So Jaya, after going on these little side adventures for herself, she's geared herself up. She's got the tutorial understanding from School of the Unseen, and she's done some side adventures. She fought a Lurgoyf. It was pretty cool. And now she finds her way back to the School of the Unseen, basically to check on her friend, Joda. Be like, hey, what's he doing? And he's missing, and no one seems to know where he went. But she does eventually find a couple of clues that are going to lead her to a place called Tressorhorn. Now, Tressorhorn is part of the it's part of the Keldoran empire, but it's where Limdul has set himself up, right? It's kind of like his home territory, and funnily enough, it is actually the ruins of the Conclave of Mages building, right? So the place where Joda's great-grandfather, Jarsil, was a student, and Ith was caged in the basement.
Yeah.
That building that was abandoned hundreds of years ago is now Limdul's crib, right?
Does he know the prevalence of the location, or it's a coincidence?
He has no idea, but he is able to realize that it is a location of significance. Yep. And whilst exploring, he finds a magical ring left on the floor in the basement.
People never cleaning up after themselves.
Yeah.
Always causing problems.
So that ring, of course, was the main villain of the Dark storyline.
How precious would you say that ring is?
Very precious. It is. Yeah. Limdul loves it. And honestly, Limdul, in my head now, is as skinny and scraggly as Gollum. That's just how I imagine him now.
For the kind of guy to be hanging around dead people all the time. He might end up being a little bit Golem-y.
Yeah, a little Golem-y.
Yeah. He it's like how people and their pets start to look alike. Like he starts to look like a corpse as he reanimates more corpses.
It's not like he's hanging around live people. He's hanging around dead people you kind of conversations with.
Yeah.
He has a different concept and reference point for beauty.
Imagine picking up personal habits, like habit traits from something you've reanimated. Just it's like a weird echo chamber.
Hey, maybe I should try eating a little bit of brain. To see what it's like.
Man, these guys really like brains.
It can't be too bad. They seem to love it.
This entire army of zombies are fighting for him. He's like, man, the restaurants lately have really got a lot of 5-star on their brain menu options.
I like to imagine as well. He starts to pick up little social cues, in the same way that we go, in conversation. He's like, and everyone's like, Limdul, why the fuck do you do that? Because he's still trying to be part of Keldoran society, in secret, but he has this, dark castle.
Hey man, you're cool, but your friends are real weird.
Yeah. What are they, druggies? They're all really spaced out and staring off, and I don't know, that guy's dragging his arms on the ground.
Instead of train spotting, it's bone spotting.
It's funny. Oh man.
Brain spotting, damn it, that was way smarter.
Brain spotting. Oh. It's right there.
I know. Ruined it.
I mean, honestly, heroin and necromancy
not too far away
makes pretty relevant victims. But so Jaya is going to travel to this Tressorhorn place, and she finds Joda. She finds him there, and this is really fun because this is like playing on a concept of what Magic was like as a game. He's been drugged, and he's been drugged with a kind of like pollen. From the forest of Findhorn, which is a forest that has managed to survive and thrive in the ice, right? It's where we get the Findhorn elves from, right? Like they're
Llanowar elves.
Yeah, they're Llanowar elves, but they're
the other one.
Findhorn elves.
In the past, like probably 5 minutes, you've mentioned three or four of the like big forests, and you've got all of the lords, like like Lords of Tressorhorn and stuff like that. You start to really bang on like every elf deck ever has a bunch of these like exact references.
The Lord of Tressorhorn is a little bit different, but yeah, Yavimaya, Llanowar, and Findhorn are all different forests on Dominaria that are all really big and populated by elves.
And like the non like lore buffs won't notice as much, but if you look through most like Magic decks now that have it like elf tribal, you're going to see these names.
There's a lot of Llanowar. Llanowar and Yavimaya survive the Ice Age. Findhorn doesn't. And Yavimaya is largely going to exist because of the people that leave Findhorn. But anyway, Joda has been pollinated and poisoned by some Findhorn shit, and he
fever.
He got mad hay fever to the point that he's starting to hallucinate, and he's hallucinating. And Limdol was able to convince him, like straight up gaslight him into believing that he's not a real person. He's a summoned creature. Like, he's like, I was brought here by someone else. I'm not a real person. I don't have real memories. I am a monster in some kind of gathering card game. So she's able to snap him out of it, right? By summoning Freyalise. And Freyalise is like, well, hang on a minute. I'm a planeswalker. I don't just do shit because I want to. I kind of need a reason to do this for you. So you need to give me something. I have need of the powerful artifacts that are in the School of the Unseen. And specifically, I really want that magic mirror that Joda has. The magic mirror that, for those that listen to the Dark episode, he's been like telling all of his like secrets and memories to, and then it wipes his brain. Yeah. It's a magical mirror outside of that, but that's largely what he's been using it for.
It's a collection of centuries and centuries of knowledge, right?
Is it like one drive and it constantly needs to ask for like extra of money to keep his fucking
It's like a cloud. It'd be like, do you want to keep a subscription going? But it has... It's an archive for all the stuff through the centuries that he has learned. I imagine it's like a Library of Alexander's situation.
Yes, and it's not just that it has all of Joda's memories in it. Freyalise wants it because it is a powerful magical artifact in and of itself.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like it has amplification that Joda just isn't using. And so even though Jaya has no right to promise any of this stuff, she's a former student of this school. She promises Freyalise, yeah, for sure, you can totally have his magic mirror and like whatever you want from the school. Yeah, fucking, it's fine. She's hot-headed and brash and does not give a fuck. And so they're able to bring Joda back from this state of delirium into a new state of delirium because now... because of the pollen, it like removed the mind wiping effect. So all of a sudden, he's just feeling centuries of memories. Not only did he suddenly realize, oh my God, I am a real person, but I'm a real person that's existed for hundreds of years and have been wiping my mind constantly. So he goes kind of crazy. He goes more than a little bit crazy and basically passes out. And Jaya's like, shit. Fine, it's fine.
He'll wake up.
This is fine.
He'll wake up.
Yeah, and eventually, of course, he does, right? And he is then able to team up with Kjeldor, and Kjeldor is gearing up for war. Specifically, they're gearing up for war with Balduvia, because they're like, oh, we got to put down those like filthy barbarians.
Yeah,
and but there's a new threat on the horizon, which is that Limdol is starting to actually reveal himself to be just straight up an evil guy. And it's like, oh, by the way, I have a giant army of corpses, and I can make more. And if I ever kill you with my army of corpses, I can make more, right? And so they really are this like slow encroaching threat that is kind of like a large allegory for how the ice has been moving this entire time, right? Like the ice has been taking over the continent. It has produced this person like Lim-Dul. Lim-Dul is now going to grow a dead army that is going to encroach over the continent. But unlike the ice, Lim-Dul can be fought. So Keldor is gearing up for battle. And Joda and Jaya are going to help them. They're gonna help them set up, and they're gonna largely try to help them put that hate for Balduvia on the back burner. This isn't gonna go nicely for the character of Varchild, who really hates Balduvia. Varchild just has it massively in for Balduvia. It's a straight up just like a racism situation.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate those barbarians.
There's no real reason. The guy just hates.
Yeah, it's like Varchild has seen various atrocities that the Balduvians have done, but of course can conveniently forget all about all the other atrocities that Keldorans have done, all that kind of stuff. And this is all going to lead in ahead to Lim-Dul's battle. Now, Lim-Dul's battle is going to be sort of the central point at which shit happens in this story, but it's important to talk about how he gets there, right? Like, Lim-Dul has been gathering power all of this time, and he's largely been doing it because of a dark benefactor. He's had a planeswalker on his side this entire time, this guy known as Lishrak. Now, Lishrak is also sometimes known as the Walker of Night, or the Night Stalker, or the Night Walker. We don't know where he came from. We know he looks human. He's not human. And he's also never had a card. That's the really annoying part about this, is that he's never been depicted on a card.
Oh, so even now with
now
the modern masters. Well,
yeah. Oh, like even now that we've like referenced frickin' everything, Lishrak has never had a card, which is so frustrating. But he has like I've got his wiki page up right now, right? He's technically depicted in a card called Lishrak's Sigil from Ice Age, but he is quoted or referred to on Dark Banishing, Dark Ritual, and Parting Thoughts, and he's associated with the Herald of Leshrac, Lishrak's Right, and Minion of Leshrac, but he has never featured a card. Right?
I guess there's a commander deck coming in shortly, right?
Yeah, I guess. Like, be like, oh, 1995, they're setting up this one.
Well, I guess the Disa one was not terribly long ago, right?
No, yeah, I mean that was a full one, but for Disa, I can see it making sense, because it's like, oh, that's a fun side character that happens to have an association with a fun creature type. We're doing that creature type. Let's do the character, right? Lishrak is largely associated just with Lim-Dul for the purposes of the story. He is a dark, evil wizard that usually depicts himself as like vaguely human, but he'll have like fiery elements to him. Like instead of legs, it's just fire. Instead of eyes, it's just fire. Instead of like hair, it's fire. But he's associated with black mana. It's just like a various demonic look.
Sounds inconvenient being all fire.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the third sandwich I burnt today.
He is going to be more important to a plot line that's going to be happening sort of at the same time as the Ice Age, which I'll probably talk about on our next time that we go into this, because listeners, there's a lot that happens during the Ice Age.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it
This is a
couple of
big
times.
part of the Magic Lore, so we're going to try and split it up into a couple segments.
Yeah,
right?
so
Just to move it on.
Lishrak is going to show up in a storyline that is going to be referred to the Shard of 12 Worlds and the Summit of the Null Moon. That's stuff that happens in comics. But Lishrak is going to be very important to Lim-Dul, yeah. Lim-Dul, Latnam, Leshrac. I'm trying to get these all straight in my head. They're all too similar.
Yeah, they also all have the names where it's like Lim-Dul is spelled weird, right? Because Lim and then the Dul has the accented U, right?
Yeah. Lim dash Dul with a thing over it. Yeah.
I wonder if they have like vaguely Scandinavian
maybe
backgrounds.
Or
There's gonna be some origin for the inspiration.
They definitely do, right? Like Keldoran, Balduvia, and like of course talking about Lurgoyfs as well. This is where we get like the flavor text character of Safi Eriksdotter, right? That's very Scandinavian. It literally just translates to Safi, daughter of Eric, right?
And there's a Safi that rocks up in Kaldheim, is that right? Or
Well, it's
or
probably
Safi the one that runs away whenever you...
Yeah, that's the thing, is that she's running away from the Lurgoyf. Ach, Hans, run! It's the Lurgoyf. And then we also got Hans Eriksson in one of the Commander Masters, I think.
Yeah, Commander Legends, maybe?
Commander Legends. Yeah. So, where's my tab on Limdul? Where's my tab on Limdul? It's disappeared. Oh, fuck.
Got to give a props to fantasy writers back in the day when they come up with names on the spot, because there's a fine line between this sounds like a believable fantasy name and now this is gibberish.
Yeah, it's gibberish.
Yeah, it's true. There's a gray area in the middle there.
Correct. And you strike it in because Latnam and names like Teferi or Limdul make sense to me as a fantasy name, but it gets too much. It's too much.
Yeah, for sure. Like if someone was just like, "This is my fantasy character, Laflefle," and you're like, "Nah, I don't know if that one works."
It's me when I was DMing as well, and I was struggling with coming up with like convincing names for my characters.
Yes.
And you meet Bob, the blacksmith.
I feel like it's a lot about how it's delivered and if there's validity behind the delivery. Because if you roll on through like it makes sense in the world that you're in and people don't question it, but it's like when you, especially in like D&D in a position like that, when you deliver it and then you look at the other players expecting them to question it, then it's like you're loosening your own validity of the product you've provided.
If you can sell it, you can just continue
like
on.
that is normal.
It's fine. Yeah. You establish your own canon.
It's kind of the same way as like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones made entire languages. It's like technically that is just complete gibberish, right? But it's like you just got to be convincing about how you provide.
Yeah,
it.
and like establishing cultures and then being like, these are the cultural norms of this culture for their names. And you just say it with enough confidence. And I guess like obviously Tolkien put a lot of craft into that. He knew how this stuff was made. So Limdul is going to be getting power from Lishrak. He doesn't really know that he's doing that, but he knows that he has this like dark benefactor that keeps showing up. He's also going to be getting power from that magic ring, and he's going to be largely controlled by it as well, because inside that ring is Marcel's spirit. He is being influenced by a magical piece of jewelry with a dark spirit inside him. It's a storyline we've heard before, but it's going to be very relevant here. And the Marcel in particular is really pissed off at Joda, because he's like, Joda's the reason I'm dead. So, hey, if Joda still exists, fucking kill him.
Yeah.
And there's going to be the sort of second in command of the School of the Unseen is a lady by the name of Gerder Egisdotter. Again, it's Scandinavian pronunciation. I'm pretty sure I'm far off to that. Egisdotter. She's the one that like got him pollinated and drugged and captured and all that kind of stuff. So Limdul's battle. Limdul's battle is one of the big events of Dominaria, pretty much. Like we've got the Sylex blast, we've got Limdul's battle. And there's the Elder Dragon War far before that, and this is going to have the country of Balduvia and the country of Keldor team up against Lishrak, and his forces coming out of the fortress of Tressorhorn, and he has constructed a number of very powerful zombies that have sort of identities in and of their own rights. One of which is the Lord of Tressorhorn. Lord of Tressorhorn is in this set. He is a legend. He's in Grixis, and I still think he's a really fun card. He's a 4-mana 10/4 that has all downsides because he's a 4-mana 10/4.
Yeah.
Right? But he is sort of meant to embody this idea of a summoned, powerful corpse. There's a cost involved. There's a lot of cost involved. But he is an absolute beast to have to get through. And Joda and Jaya and the country of Keldor, led by this guy called Darian, and the country of Balduvia, led by this lady called Levissa Coldeyes, who also has a card. She didn't get a card until Cold
And
Snap.
Levissa Coldeyes does very much have that barbarian Viking aesthetic.
Yeah. She was in a dual deck. Her dual deck version is one of my like all-time like
It's so cool.
top 100. I can put top 100 pieces of art, but very cool. Really like it.
Yes.
Yeah. But then also the dual decks version of it as well, where she's like standing with the ice wind blowing her from behind.
Also, that dual deck that she's in has the coolest logo they've ever produced as well.
It was the Norse runic.
Yes, and like kind of comes up as horns together at the top. Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm. So Limdol's War, not Limdol's War, Limdol's Battle. Limdol's Battle is very different from Limdol's War because it's, oh my God.
Of course it is.
Limdol famously known for his vaults. So Limdol's Vault.
Is that okay? Yeah. See, there's a lot of things, right, that are like reference. I don't even know if Limdol's Vault is a real card. It could be.
Is it it's the one, the blue black one, right? You know the one? The one where you scry 4 every time.
You get to
I thought
Limdol's Vault. Yep, exactly.
I assumed you're correct because your knowledge is so high, Kang. But then when Matt didn't know whose knowledge is, it's usually
suddenly I started doubting myself.
Yeah, I instantly started doubting everything.
Yeah. No, it was like I was getting
Limdol's Vault was the card that introduced me to who Limdol as a character was. Because it's famously known for being a CEDH.
Oh, it's a crazy
powerful
card.
Commander.
Yeah. Because I was like pairing it off in my head with like other cards that have Limdol in the name. And I'm like, is Vault one of them? Because there's like Legions of Limdol, Limdol's Cohort, Limdol's Hex, Limdol's Highguard, Limdol's Paladin, Limdol's Vault is there, and there's the
real quickly. So obviously this set has an emphasis on like necromancy.
As like the main villain.
One of the big cards in this set was Necropotence.
So is this a depiction of Limdol? Or is this
that
just a guy?
Is, yes.
Okay.
That is Limdol on that art of Limdol's Vault. The original art for that card is just like a spooky thing by the window.
So that was after they kind of established how Limdol was going to look like.
Yes, because he does get a card in Time Spiral. It's a card called Limdol the Necromancer. I wish it was a more playable card, but it is a 7 mana commander that requires you to keep pumping more mana into it for it to do anything.
Not great.
Not great, no. But Limdol's Battle is going to happen, and Joda and Jaya are going to defeat Limdol, right? That's going to be the end result of that battle. There's a lot of generals that have lots of infighting at the same time. Varchild is going to defect. Jaya is going to be fighting someone called Chaisuke, which is like another various sort of member of Limdol's hordes. There's also going to be a guy called Haakon, who is going to retreat from the battle. Haakon was another like lieutenant of Limdol. And he's going to show up again in the Cold Snap story.
Because Ice Age was a block set.
Yeah. Roughly. So let me touch on that as we get to the end of this story, because there's going to be one more story point that I'll touch on. Ice Age was a set, and it had a cool story. And then they're planning for a second set to come out, but before Ice Age comes out, they have this idea: what if we flavorfully tie alliances to Ice Age? What if we make it like it's a combined together set? There's a big set and a small set, and they're like combined together. Alliances mechanically has nothing to do with Ice Age, or at least it didn't in the very, very early points of design. So for most intents and purposes, Ice Age becomes the first block because it actually gets a sequel. They have Ice Age and Alliances. And Alliances is where this Limdol's Battle storyline is taking place. But they're not really a block. They're kind of like turned into one. And then way later down
narratively, they wanted to link these sets together, but when they were designing it mechanically, they just had them in parallel.
Yeah, like because Ice Age has a focus on things like cumulative upkeep, and there's snowlands that are introduced. Alliances has a focus on multicolored cards, and like the alliances between the allied color pairs.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Right. So there's kind of different things going on. You can see synergy between them. Also, sets at this time are like all over the place.
You were talking about how we had Legends introduced the legendary creature mechanic, and then it was only then resumed in Ice Age. But I like to imagine that maybe because sets were designed in parallel this time, as Magic was effectively booming in the hobby sphere, they had different designers kind of leading on and designing things in parallel. And it meant that when they had the Dark and Fallen Empires come out, they weren't clued into, hey, we should try this new legendary creature mechanic.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's one of these things where like something like that, like the Legends, it didn't have any guarantee that it was going to be like catch on as an evergreen thing, right? Like we didn't know. And then clearly it was like, oh, that succeeded. Let's put it in more sets. The final finale of this section of the Ice Age story is going to end with the World spell. right? So Freyalise collected that magical ring, not the magical ring, magical mirror. I should touch on that as well. Jaya picked up the magical ring. She exploded Lishrak.
Right.
Limdul. She exploded Limdul, and Lishrak
By throwing
grabbed
the
him.
ring into a volcano.
Kind of. She just chopped his hand off.
Okay.
Yeah, not as dramatic. She chopped
So
the
the
hand
start
off.
of Lord of the Rings.
Started all the rings.
Yes, she chopped his hand off, and then a nice ring came off it, and she was like, "Oh, cool," and slipped the ring on.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Always goes down perfectly well. No problems.
yeah.
This
yeah,
is just
yeah.
on a tangent, but it flew into my brain. You know how you've just started looking to collect a bit more Lego Lord of the Rings? They made, controversially, they made a Lego set, which was the scene when... What was Gollum's name before he was Gollum?
Smeagol.
Smeagol.
Smeagol. Yeah,
When
the
it was-
one where he's drowning Deagle.
Yes, it's Smeagol and Deagle on the boat.
What? Really?
Yeah, they made a Lego set for that.
I feel like that's too violent for them.
That
seems-
was why it was a controversial set.
I didn't even
Lego
know that
was
was the
supposed
case.
to be, we're doing a little bit of everything. We're for
Yeah,
the
it
kids.
was-
And it was the Smeagol Deagle drowning scene. They made a
Nothing wrong with
Lego
a bit
set
of
of.
like child-sized drowning.
And the thing is, as well, it was a gift with purchase,
It
right? So,
was.
like, you had to buy, I think, like the Fell Beast set or any of the other like Lord of the Rings sets that came out at the time, and then buy it as like a reward. You're like, and here's the one where he drowns a guy,
Awesome. That's amazing.
or no, he doesn't drown him. He finds it in the lake, and then they come out, and then he
You know,
chokes him on
you
the
can
riverbank.
interpret it.
He drowned
Yeah,
him
yeah.
on his own hands.
Yeah. So now we have Jaya that is possessed by the spirit of not only Limdul but also Marsil. It's going to get really crowded inside this ring, and it's going to keep getting worse. And now we also have the country of Kjeldor and Balduvia. They have just won. Oh my god! They have won a massive battle against Limdul, and they've sort of established peace. Even in this like terrifying ice apocalypse world, they have found a section of peace, and they have found something in common. That's going to be important later. And
The hate for necromancy.
yeah. And then Freyalise is going to cast the world spell. And this is paramount to Ice Age's big development, right? Like Limdul's battle was a really important story point. This huge conflict that's going to bring these nations together against this really, really big bad guy. But Freyalise's world spell is going to completely change the continent because it's going to bring the end to the Ice Age.
Right.
That's the capstone.
Understood. Because I was going to ask, what was the conclusion of the overall, ice itself? But if Freyalise, being such a powerful planeswalker, pre-mending walker, she does have the capabilities in herself to fix everything.
Yes, and there's a lot to get into to bring up the fact that that's going to exist. But I'm gonna note on that to sort of finish up here that the world spell is going to be cast. What is the world spell? We'll get into it. Why does she cast it? We'll get into it.
So many questions.
This is like
lots of
part
questions.
one of the Ice Age block what we're going to talk about. So we just had the quick brief. This is us diving our toes into where we are in the Ice Age, what the story actually surmounts to be.
Yeah.
And we have the name drops of the important characters. Jodo is important to the storyline.
Jodo's important, Jaya is
storyline.
important.
Leshrac and Limdol being the antagonists to the
Mm-hmm.
storyline. How much of a fight does Limdol's army,
Crazy fight!
Yeah.
Like I'm skimming over this because there's not a lot to get into other than the fact that thousands die. Like thousands die, tens of thousands die.
Yeah.
We're talking something on the scale of the Battle of Pelennor Fields and the Battle at the Black Gate,
Right.
combined.
Keldor and Balduvia were big nations then.
Billions of
nations.
thousands.
Billions of thousands.
Maybe
in the
not.
grimdark
Scale it down a
universe.
little bit.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah,
They're actually quite surmountable nations.
yeah.
Yeah. So then
yeah.
They actually go on a massive war against Limdol.
This battle is going to leave enough corpses in the snow that when the snow eventually thaws, it will become a huge problem.
Whoa.
Right? Like that's
The stink is just prevalent, so prevalent here.
Oh yeah, and especially if you have other necromancers,
the,
they're going to be playing into the theory of
all the-
what Limdul was doing.
Everything just smells like stirstroming all the time.
Yeah, at all time. Yeah.
You get pickled, fermented people.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. So yes, there is going to be a massacre that turns the blood red, turns the ice red, that puts bodies in the ground that will become a massive problem later on. The kind of thing that changed the landscape of Europe, right? When we had World War I, we put so many bodies in the ground that poppies started to pop up everywhere. It's that kind of like world shaping battle. It's
Understood.
big.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go well for Limdul. And then it also really doesn't go well for Jaya, who picks up a severed hand and steals a ring.
To be continued, huh?
To be continued, absolutely.
How do you feel about we go through for next episode as well? We try to really dive in and figure out some of our favorite cards from this set as well. Because there's a big set. It's 383 sets. 383 cards, sorry.
I've got bangers here that I play all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good one for the next one.
Especially jumping on from the last couple's lore episodes, the Dark and the Fallen Empires were reasonably smaller sets.
Yeah, and you're kind of picking out
compounds.
like you're picking out diamonds in the rough.
Correct.
Ice Age is a powerful set. This is the dawn of Necropotent's winter, right? Like this is like
3
the
black for
dark period.
Necropotence.
Oh, yeah?
Who needs to draw cards normally anymore?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy powerful.
And then a lot of really interesting different artworks. Because the set's so large, you would assume the set was predominantly just everything is ice. Everything looks like it's covered in ice, but it's not. There's a lot of diversity in the art still as well. And we're in that peak era of Magic art where artists are really doing their own thing all around.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really interesting creatures in the background. We've got, I mentioned Lurgoys, but we also got things like Yetis. We've got trolls. We've got sentient apes that live in the forest and have clothes and beat people to death, right? Like we've got zombies. We've got like dragons. There's all sorts of cool stuff.
Going through the cards like there on the spoiler page, it's like there's a lot of creatures there that we've probably never seen ever again. You know what I mean?
My favorite of the lot was Mountain Goat, because I read the designers were thinking we need to figure out another red creature. We got to pad out the red creatures. All right, red is mountain. What lives in mountains? Goats. Mountain goat. All right, so it's a goat, right? So it's 1 mana.
Yep.
It's a 1/1. And what does the mountain goat do? Mountain walk. It
walks on mountains.
So it's a 1/1 mountain walk goat.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Mountain goat.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. And we also got unicorns in here as well. We got oofs,
Nice.
brownies,
Yep.
all sorts of stuff.
It's
They
a
were,
large
they, were,
set.
they were throwing everything at the wall. They're like, what does it have? All of Europe.
The ice is melting and just random shit is popping.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess you know what? You know, the whole thing was the encroachment of the ice, right? So kind of like we do where we ruin our forests here. As we burn them away, all the creatures get condensed all together, and it's like they're all now there. Whereas normally they'd be more spread out. Maybe this is what the ice is doing; it's encroaching on the land. And as it is like now the Yetis and the Oofs and all these guys have to live together. Whereas normally they would be far more separated and maybe more sporadic across the land.
And they've also really had to struggle to survive, and now they're super strong. Now they're potent at
like
what
their
they
natural
do.
selection is working at its best. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for jumping in, doing an episode with us, Matt.
Pick it up again next episode.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it as well. Ice Age is still one of my favorite sets thematically in the timeline of Magic the Gathering as well.
Love them being back.
Yeah, absolutely. We had to keep this one brief, but I'm so keen to get into this again because there's a lot to get
episode of
into.
2026. Hopefully you join us as well, the listeners. Hopefully you join us for the rest of 2026. Aiming to get this back more frequently as well, keeping the episodes going. More lore.
Yeah.
More releases too. Lorewinds are just around the corner here as well. Maybe get a Lorewin episode at some point as well.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
excited
Yeah,
for
I've
that
got
one,
a lot of stuff planned for Lore.
Because Lorewin
We
was
have to eke that out into 6 episodes because
Yes,
it's got to
squeeze
survive
out the
all of the
SEO.
universes beyond the rest of the year.
now, it's in my mind, it's crazy, right? Because Lorewin was what, 2007?
2004.
2004 was it?
Yep.
So we've been over 20 years now. We're finally back to Lorewin.
Finally back again.
20 years.
20 years.
Crazy.
Thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Love you.
Around.
Bye.